Hey everyone, my name is Hal. This is Quail Studio's guitar. I've got my Blueridge BR-73 today, and we are going to learn Homeward Bound. Let's just get right to it. I'll explain some things about it in a little bit. Now, let me get my capo and put it on the 3rd fret because Paul Simon plays it with a capo on the 3rd fret. Like that. But I'm going to take the capo off and not use it and teach it to you like that because I know there are some students out there that don't have a capo yet or want to play a little bit lower. So we're just going to do it without the capo and show you. And if you want to put a capo on it where Paul does it on the 3rd fret or somewhere else, that's fine too. Let's go. So you can use a G chord like this or like this. Now, in my intro video, I played the first part like this. And actually, that's not exactly the way Paul does it. He doesn't play the 1st fret on the B string and the 2nd fret on the D string. He plays the 1st fret on the B string and the 2nd fret on the G string. Like that, hammer on, pull off. And then he plays 2nd fret on the G string, 3rd fret on the D string, and then goes down to open G, 2nd fret on the D string, 2nd fret D string, 3rd fret A string, and then plays that right there where you play the A string and the D string again, but you hammer on with that 2nd fret, and then play the open D, 2nd fret on the A string, then play the G note by itself, 3rd fret E string, and then strum through it. Let's do that slowly again. Strum the G, and then we start the song. I'm sitting in a railway station. But first, before we get to the verse, let's tell you what I'm doing with the pick. So I'm holding my pick like this. I have an open hand. I like this way to play because if I need to, I can mute back here. I don't like to play like this because I don't really know where I am on the guitar. So I like to open my hand because I gently touch the guitar every once in a while. We strum that G chord and then we play. I'm playing it with my pick and my middle finger. Hammer on, pull off, B string, G string. Go down and hit that 3rd fret there. And that's it. Now we're going to play I'm sitting in a railway station, got a ticket for my destination. He's just playing the E string, the low E string, and the D string. You don't even have to hold a G chord. You can just put your finger on the 3rd fret. And I use a down, up picking. Do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go to the 2nd fret. 1st fret. Now the open string on the E, and I'm holding an E minor chord in case I hit some of the other notes. And then we go to an A minor chord. At this point, instead of finger picking like Paul does, and he uses his thumb and his index finger, I'm going to use my pick. Bass note down, down, up, bass note down, up, just like that. Or you could play bass note down, up, like this. It's really up to you what you'd like to do, but this down, up, or the down, up, down, up, that has to be softer because you can't do it like this. That's very annoying and it gets old very quickly. If you play the A string by itself, or you play the A string and the D string together, it doesn't really matter. It'll sound really good. Let's start at the beginning again with the first part when we go right into the verse, and I'm going to sing it slowly so you can see how the timing is. I'm sitting in a railway station, got a ticket for my destination. Now we go into the A minor chord. On a tour of one-night stands, a suitcase and guitar in hand. So what we got there is down, up, bass note. Now, when you strum something like this, that's half the strum, and then I'm going to play a G note here. With my A minor chord, I'm going to play that G note with my pinky like this. And then I'm going into an F bar chord and play it twice, like that. But you know what? You don't have to do that G bass note on the 3rd fret there. You could say, on a tour of one night stand, my suitcase and guitar in hand. And that's perfectly acceptable too. Then we go to a G chord, and you can play it like this with the 2nd and 3rd finger, or you can play it with the 3rd and 4th finger. Because we're going to play a G chord, and then we're going to go up to like a D add 4, like that. I'm just going to play the 4 inside strings. Paul, what he does is he takes that G chord and he slides these 2 fingers up like this and drops in those 2 notes. It kind of looks like an E minor 7 up here. But you play the A bass and the A on top. So let's call out the strings here. 5th fret E string. Mute the A string with this finger. 4th fret D string. Open G string. 3rd fret B string. 5th fret E string. That's the chord that he uses. I'm going to call it a D add 4. So it goes like this. And every stop is neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. Okay. On the recording that I did, what I played was a G chord, and then I popped into this D add 4 like this. Like that. And I didn't bother to do those A notes right there on the low E and the high E string on the 5th fret. Because I have a student that says, that's kind of hard. And so I popped into this chord. It actually looks like a C chord, 2 frets up. And it's a very acceptable chord. What I'm doing there is I'm muting my E string with the thumb, and also with this finger over here I'm muting the E string. Like that. So one of the things you can do in this song is you can keep strumming. See that? And you can lift your hand and go back and forth like that, and it'll work really well. Now we need to go into the chorus. And one thing I like to do is go homeward bound. I wish I was homeward bound. Let's make this really simple. That's what I'm doing right there. Homeward bound. Paul does this little He does it with his finger picking, but I'm doing an alternate bass right there. But what I did going into Homeward Bound was that I played my G chord without that finger right there, because I'm not going to go all the way through it like that. I'm going to play my G note, I'm muting my A string, playing my D string, my G string, and possibly my B string. It's not necessary. And then I'm not playing the E string and playing the open A, open D, open G, and then 2nd fret on the A string to the C chord. And that's what it sounds like. And you can play that, and you can spill over into those other notes. So you're playing that 3rd fret on the E string, open A, 2nd fret on the A string, into the C chord. Homeward bound. I'll talk about the timing of that in just a second. But before we do the timing on that, let's talk through the whole chorus, and then we'll go back for the timing. Homeward bound, going to G, I wish I was. Homeward, back to C. G, F, C. I'm using this F, not a bar chord F. So I'm using this, some people call it a cheater F, but it's just a really nice little F right there. And you don't even have to play the E string. You can just play your B string, G string, D string. 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and go. You can play your G like this or like this. Let's see. Home, where my thoughts escaping, home. 1, 2, 1, 2. Home, where my thoughts escaping, home, where my music's playing, home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. You can do a little strum like that if you want to, or you can go back to this. 5, 6, 7, 8. I like to do that for 8 beats like that, or however you count it, because it gives me time to think about the next verse and what I'm going to do next. Let's talk a little bit about what Paul does there when he goes like that. Home, where my thoughts escaping, home, where my music's playing, home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. So what Paul does, I think, is that he plays 1st fret B string, 2nd fret G string, and then open, same strings, then goes down to the D and G strings and plays 2nd fret G string, 3rd fret D string, and then goes to the G string open, 2nd fret D string. So it's, and those are all on the upstroke. Like that. If you can't do that, and that's a little hard for you to do at the moment, you can just play your F to the C. Now, when you're singing, I'm going to play the F upstroke on thoughts, and then scape, I'm going to play my C. Home, where my thoughts escaping, home, where my music's playing, home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. What I like to do there is just strum the D chord and hold it silently for me. Because I love how that just hangs instead of, strumming it like this. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Yeah, I don't really like that as much because I like the way that would hang on and give us a little bit of a contrast from all the strumming that we've been doing. And then goes into a, it's like we've been strumming a lot. Then we're going to slow down everything. Again, going into the next verse. I love doing that. Now when we've been doing this, getting out of my chorus, you can play a G chord, you can play a G with an F sharp bass, you can play a G with an F bass, to an E minor, right there on the first line of the second verse. Every day's an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. E minor. Right there, I love to play the E minor for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, E for 4 beats. And drop that E chord in there. So it sounds like this. Every day's an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. E, A minor. And this verse is exactly the same as the last verse. If you want to, you can go back to this, just like the first verse. Every day's an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. I do love the E chord there. Each town looks the same to me, the movies and the factories, and every stranger's face I see reminds me that I long to be homeward bound. Right there, I love the way Paul does this on that studio recording in 1975. I think that's when it was. And he goes, right there. It's the same thing as this, except he plucks the notes. 3rd fret E string, open B string, open A, 1st fret B string, 2nd fret A string, 3rd fret B string, going into the C. Reminds me that I long to be homeward bound. Now, you could play the G chord, A minor, G with a B bass, and then to a C chord. And that would work really well too. Where you just play those bass notes and spill over into the other strings. Or you can play the, it's up to you. I wish I was homeward bound. Same thing as the last chorus. Home, where my thoughts escape, and home, where my music's playing. Home, just like that. F, C, silently for me. I can't decide what to do there. Silently for me. I like to go back into this. Tonight I'll sing my song again. I'll play the game and pretend. I love to do that. Now what I do here is I'm playing my G note, 3rd fret E string, and I'm playing those 3 open strings on the D string, G string, B string. I'm not spilling over onto the E, but you can just use one finger. Go down to the 2nd fret on the E string. If you're careful and don't hit that E string on the top, it sounds really good. But all my words come back to me in shades of mediocrity, like emptiness and harmony. I need someone to comfort me. talked a little bit earlier about showing you the rhythm on that and how to do the rhythm. Let me get my metronome out here. What I'm doing here is we've got 4 beats to a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's my timing. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking it's in terms of eighth notes. 1, 2, dun 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 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's speed this up. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm thinking of this in terms of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But really it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my timing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's how I think of that. So let's get back to that last chorus. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. And then we do home, where my thoughts escaping, home, where my music's playing, home, where my love lies waiting silently for me, silently for me. And then we do the ending, which is the same as the beginning. You can get the lead and tab sheet over at Patreon. You sign up and you automatically get my book, or Subscribestar, or email me at lessonswithhal@gmail.com. Make a PayPal donation with the link in the description below. That's how you get my book. There's 415 pages in my book with tons of songs. There's over 115 songs. I haven't counted them lately, and I've added a few. If you can support me monetarily, that's fantastic. It helps my teaching and keeps me working and doing this kind of thing. If not, well, share this video with other people. Like it, subscribe, those kinds of things help. And I appreciate you very much, and we will talk to you later.